This is the T.Flight Hotas 1, the cheapest Hotas that you can buy on the market, but is it still worth the money? And this happens to be the Microsoft Flight Sim Edition, which makes it that much cooler. Okay, so I have unboxed our T.Flight Hotas 1 here. We have it all set up. Now, a few things. This is a sponsored video, but I will post proof, receipts all around of all the times I've recommended this, which are very numerous. I've given away like 5 or 6. I'll put a screenshot of my Amazon orders of these. I've bought many of these. I've given them away. I've suggested them for years. You can look at the dates. Years ago, and this is still the cheapest Hotas that I am aware of. Now, as you can see, I have them separated right now, our stick and our throttle. You can also put them together, and there's these little screws that actually connect them. So say you're playing like on your lap or somewhere where you want them close together and not taking up much space, you can do that. But for me, I prefer them being further apart, so it feels like you're actually flying a plane here. And that is what I like. So right when we plug this in, first thing you got to remember, you need a switch. It's not on the back of this. There's a switch on the back of this that switches between PC and Xbox because this is compatible with Xbox as well, which is super convenient. PC and Xbox, make sure to have your switch on Xbox. If not, it will not work. Like me, it didn't get recognized at first. But once it is in and you have the switch on the correct thing, you go to controls. It's obviously already recognized over here on the left side. And most things are already bound. Well, I should say everything you need is already bound, but I went ahead and added some other binds like a reverse thrust hold button and certain parking brake things, just how I like them. You can obviously do them however you want, but like things like aileron and elevator are already going to be bound when you get in the sim, which makes it much easier. But without further ado, let's go ahead and hop on and then we can answer the question, is the cheapest Hotas still worth it? Okay, so here we are in the A321, and as you can see, our control surfaces work. I did not mess with any control surfaces. All I did, like I said, was mess with the reverse thrust and the binding of certain brakes and things in a way that I like. But you load in and you're pretty much set. Obviously, change the things that you want to change, but the basic stuff is done, which helps you not waste time, especially in the new sim when you're trying to get in and just have fun, although the servers were really messed up the first day. I will release our parking brake there. We will throttle up. And again, I did not mess with throttle. There it is, as you can see. Now, by default, the twist of this will be rudder. I do have rudder pedals attached, so that's why I don't have that connected. But by default, this will do rudder. You can also bind the little back rocker switch on the back of the throttle to that as well. Let's rotate here. Take off. Look at that. How nice. Let's get our gear up. And here we are in the A321. Now, if you know me, you know that I am horrible at landing airliners. So with our new stick and throttle here, we're going to hope and pray that my landing is decent. We're doing a incredibly short flight just over here to Miami, which is like a 2-second flight. So won't be much at all, but we're going to try some other, more, shall I say, aggressive planes. Okay, so coming into Miami with a very aggressive approach here because, like I said, are doing a very short flight. And like I also said, because I am horrible at landing airliners. And we're gonna see if a stick and throttle that I have not used in a very long time, if I can do it. Let's try a little bit of a slip. Like I said, we are very high and very aggressive. Can I do a slip? A slip is, you gotta be, relatively precise. You can see the angle of me coming in here is a little weird because of this slip, but I think I can do it. We're full left rudder right now. Very fast to make this slip a little more aggressive. As you can see, we're decreasing altitude at 3,700 feet per minute, but our airspeed is also decreasing. That is what's super nice about a slip here. Here we come into Miami. Textures loading in. Look at this. Isn't it awesome? Negative 3,000 feet per minute and decreasing airspeed. A nice slip is incredibly cool. We're gonna have to decrease our rudder here. Did I time this absolutely perfectly? I may have whoa, come back. Oh, okay. You know what? We're going other runway because, I got a little too slow there, and it did not like that. But we're going to try to make it smooth. That's what matters.
20.
There's 20.
Retard.
10. Smooth as possible. Come on.
Retard.
5. Come on.
Retard.
It's calling me bad names. Oh, my. That was... Not going to lie. Ignore my textures not loading in. It's struggling a little bit. That was pretty smooth. That was a horrible landing by me, but smooth enough. So we have decided to load into the Pady. Whoa, this thing is crazy. Draco X, which is an absolutely insane bush plane. And one of the hardest things you can do in the sim, I put this in my hardest landings video, is landing on helipads. And if you haven't recognized it yet, we are in Dubai, which has the exact helipad that someone actually landed on in a plane, which is kind of insane to think about. So that is what we will be trying in the Draco X. Now, one thing, if I had to critique this Hotas, my biggest thing would be this cable in the middle does get in the way. That being said, it is the cheapest Hotas you can buy, but having two separate cables for your Hotas is very nice because, like I do with my Thrustmaster Warthog, I put the throttle over here and the stick over there when I'm done, and they can be completely opposite sides of the desk and out of my way, which is incredibly convenient. Whereas this one, it doesn't quite work like that, unfortunately. Now, if you ask people that are longtime viewers, they ask me to suggest stick and throttles all the time, which I already mentioned. I won't say names. I did buy a stick and throttle as my first one after this one. I was like, I'm gonna get something a little more expensive, you know. YouTube has started to do well. I think I hit 100,000 subs or something. I bought, you know, the thing that would logically be next in line as far as price. Its quality was worse, and I was like, well, I'm not doing that. So I went back to this one for a long time before I bought my Thrustmaster Warthog, which is like more than 5 times the price. So if that tells you anything about what I feel about this, then there you go. But here we go. We're coming up to the Burj Al Arab in Dubai. I know I'm absolutely not saying that correctly in any way, shape, or form. We are in the Draco X again. This thing surprisingly has reverse thrust in a little bush plane, which is pretty crazy. So we're gonna see what we can do here. Okay, so our Draco X here is pretty low weight. We have very little fuel in here. I'm gonna try a normal-ish landing first on the helipad. I don't think this is gonna go well. Well, actually, we do have, I keep forgetting, we do have the reverse thrust on this thing, which is kind of insane. So obviously there is a chance. We're very close to stall speed here. Let's go idle. Come on. Oh! Okay, we gotta restart. Okay, attempt number 2 now, landing the Draco X. But this time, we're gonna kind of start from the bottom, work our way up, and try to stall and just land on it. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, idle throttle, stall. Oh, come on! Okay, so I need to be a little bit more aggressive. I think we weren't quite going slow enough, and I timed it horribly. Try number 2 or 3. Oh my goodness. I'm so bad at this that we're on try number 3 already. Here we go. 47 knots, 46. I gotta stall a little bit earlier, I think. Like there. Okay, we're getting better. This is my final try. We're getting it this time. I don't care what anyone says. We're getting it this time. Also, this is with no headwind, no nothing, by the way. So that's another reason this has been difficult. Here we go. I told you! Oh my goodness. I told you that was the one. So is the T.Flight Hotas one worth it for the cheapest Hotas you can buy? Well, it's not the best Hotas you can buy, of course. But for the price point, the feel of the stick and the throttle actually don't feel bad. Like, you can feel more resistance as you get to the edge of the stick, which I really kind of enjoy. It's not a perfectly linear feel. And I have absolutely no complaints about it. Now, this was the first stick and throttle that I ever owned, so I'm very sentimental about it. I still have one back home in Georgia at my other setup. But yeah, give it a shot. So if you want to buy one of these for yourself and match with me, go to the link in my description and pick one up right now.